come to save your apes?
I came for you.
What's good, Green Screen Entertainment fans? Your boy Jay Green is back, and this weekend I'm bringing you my review for War for the Planet of the Apes. Now, this movie was directed by Matt Reeves, who you may remember from such films as Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and from the hit cinema classic Under Siege 2, Dark Territory.
There's only one problem. Hey, yo, the hero! The cook from Under Siege is back.
Now, War of the Planet of the Apes marks the third installment to the brand new rebooted Apes franchise that started in 2011 with Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Before that, we had the Tim Burton version of Planet of the Apes, and long before that, we had the 1960s version of the Planet of the Apes with 5 actual installments to that particular franchise. Now, throughout this ape rebooted trilogy, the humans have come and gone, the apes have basically remained the same, but there's always a through line, and that through line, Caesar. Caesar is played by Andy Serkis, and just like Hugh Jackman's Wolverine and wine, it gets better with age. Andy Serkis is a phenomenal actor on his own, but you put him in a motion capture outfit, now you actually feel like you are watching a living, breathing ape with real human emotion. The shit's crazy, son. One of the best things about a trilogy is when a trilogy is thorough, when it has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And now, if there's more movies in that whole entire franchise, that's great, but we still want them to interconnect and make sense, and we also want to see growth and great character development to continue on with everybody that we're seeing on screen. That's exactly what we get from this completion of the Apes trilogy. In the first one, in Rise, you have Caesar as a young ape. He's learning the ways of the ape world and whatnot, and how to get taken care of by a human, and then he becomes smart, and he kind of understands, hey, you know what? Maybe my people or my kind are not being treated properly. Rise of the Planet of the Apes, they go into the trees, it's all good. Dawn, they're just trying to survive on their own, but they got the humans trying to mess with them, and they're going to deal with that. And then it leads up to this movie, which is that third installment, War for the Planet of the Apes. You got Woody Harrelson's crazy-ass character. Now, he is one of those great villains that we see in some movies, like a Zod in A Man of Steel, where they think that what they are doing is actually right. Now, to me, that makes that villain that much more great, because if you think what you're doing is right, you are going to go at it with the most conviction, and that is what is so believable about Woody Harrelson's character. When you understand his backstory and what he's been through, you're kind of like, damn, dude, I can kind of see where you're coming from, but at the same time, you got to pick a side. You gonna rock with the humans, or you gonna rock with the apes? What's good? Because they didn't do nothing wrong. They just being them. We gave them that shit that made them like that. So that's another thing that I love about this film, is it does definitely put that conflict in your mind. Another thing that I really love about some trilogies and that make them that much more great to me is when they can have a callback. Much like in stand-up comedy, when a comedian says a smaller joke up front that maybe isn't that funny, it's a small detail in whatever joke they were saying, later down the line, they add that detail into a bigger joke or bigger set piece that makes it that much more funny because you can relate it to what he said before. This movie does that. It has little clips and tidbits and pieces of Dawn and Rise, and the same thing with Dawn. It had little pieces of Rise that were great callbacks that make emotional beats or intense moments that much bigger and that much better, because you're like, damn, I know where they're coming from because that happened over there. It all connects so seamlessly. Also, the graphics have enhanced each film on. By this film, when you're watching this movie, it looks even better than Dawn, and Dawn looked better than Rise. And in Rise, it looked pretty damn good. So you're getting great growth from not only character development, story, plot, it's all moving along, but graphics and directing style and all of that is also improving with this trilogy. I'm pretty sure that by this point, it is abundantly apparent that I love this movie, and I'm most likely going to suggest that y'all should go out to the big screen and watch it. And you daggone right. Get your ass out to the theater and support this film. But with that said, I'm going to try to break down a little bit of the plot and the story without spoiling anything. Now, you can tell by the trailers and by the title of this film, it's going to be a war. There is going to be a battle in the end of the film. But what prompts that battle? It's not Caesar just straight wilding out talking about fuck the humans, and the humans wilding out talking about straight fuck the apes. Yeah, they trying to get rid of the apes, they're trying to protect the human race, yes, and the apes are trying to protect themselves, yes, but we see a scene in the trailers where Woody Harrelson is posted up in the little ape spot and Caesar is running at him. What happened? I don't know. You gotta watch the movie to find that out. But just know he ran up in Caesar's spot and was wrecking shit, and it didn't turn out too well for Caesar. So with that said, that's pretty much what prompts Caesar to go after Woody Harrelson's character. And it's because of this that I gotta give Andy Serkis and the motion capture department hella props. Now I am not exactly certain at how the magic of motion capture goes down. I do know that the actor Andy Serkis, he's gotta wear some weird gray suit with some kind of head device and it shines lights and you can see all his facial movements and whatever. And then the motion capture people put all that together, put it on the big screen and make it look beautiful. And they do make it look beautiful. Because of what Caesar is going through towards the third act of the movie, throughout basically the entire film, but mainly through the third act of the movie, and the conversations that he has with Woody Harrelson's character, there are some major conflicts that he has to deal with, and it is amazing to see those conflicts play out on screen. I'm not going to tell you what they are, but there's a couple of them, and I'm not going to tell you how they go down. You got to go see the movie for that. So as I said before, this is a phenomenal film. Andy Serkis is amazing. Woody Harrelson is amazing. Matt Reeves does a fantastic job picking up the what Rupert Wyatt started with Rise. Matt Reeves did great with Dawn. He concludes this trilogy with a phenomenal installment. I'm telling you right now, go check this movie out in the cinema. Support this film. It's great. If you are a true Planet of the Apes fan, there is potential for another movie, but they do not cheapen themselves by putting it out there blatantly like, hey, we can make another movie or we're going to make another movie. Again, you gotta be a true Planet of the Apes fan, maybe seen the original movies to understand how that potential is there, but it is not spoon-fed to you. It is just there. So that's all I'm going to say. Other than that, I want to thank everybody that is subscribed to my channel right now. I don't know all of you. I sometimes try to respond to you guys if you leave comments. Thank you so much, so much. It was my goal by June to get to 200 or more subscribers, and I got just above 200, so I thought that was awesome. Thank you so much. I hope I keep bringing you great content and great entertainment. While I have you here, if you are not subscribed, please do me a favor, subscribe. If you are subscribed or you're not, please do me a favor and like if you enjoyed this review. Other than that, your boy, I'm out.